a common area in homes. If people got children now, some children tend to have their own personal computers, and they may have them in their bedrooms. I would just encourage any parent to obviously monitor that, but also have them in a common area of the house where you can watch it, because there's predators, there's some of everything out there now that can get your child or our loved ones in trouble. And that's a medium that young people use now. Computers, they're into YouTubes, into Facebook, MySpace, you name it. And they're not afraid of using those type of, and those are pretty much safe places again, but still, they must monitor the activities that they have on those computers. Yeah, you're a child, you pretty much you think as a child. You don't see danger. You're invincible to some degree. And so, true parents, we have to be concerned about them and to some great degree be protective, but again, give them a little bit of room where they can, I say, room to grow, but at the same time, you must monitor them. And because otherwise, there's troubles right around the corner for any and all of our children, regardless of how good a parent we may be. Well, we have computers basically in all our patrol cars, the mall patrol units. All of our investigators do not have laptops in their cars just yet, but they will, because we got a federal grant that we can purchase those through. So we're pretty advanced today in comparison where we were many years ago. Back just maybe 9-10 years ago, when we didn't even have the computers in the cars. We had them, but we didn't have them in the cars. And at that point in time, the only thing we're going to be doing is sending an email back and forth where you can send messages. But you certainly need them where they can access your record management system, where they can access DMV files, your NCIC files that's in Washington, D.C. You need to be able to do that from your patrol car, be able to pull up photographs, be able to access the internet. All this should be done from the patrol car today, and thank God that we can. With some software that we hadn't installed it yet, but we're looking where eventually citizens will be able to access our police reports via the web. If they want to get a copy of a police report, the public records copy, they'll be able to do that. They won't have to come here. So you're constantly changing things all the time. Our communication centers, new software has been put placed in there, called Generation 1 software, where it's probably roughly $500,000 investment in bringing that center again more up to date. So, because I think the last time we had a serious update in communications probably was somewhere around 98, 99, somewhere along there. 10 years more ago. Yeah. Yes. Captain Funstock, one of the ladies ahead, the lady ahead that's up inside our department. She had obviously did a little research here and there, and she saw where across the country that was the A department that was doing something similar to that. She showed it to me, and I said, certainly, I said, Laura, I agree with you. This would be a great thing to bring here to do. And she's been monitoring. It's obviously nothing more than what citizens can give us their email address or businesses. And as things happen, she sends those reports directly out as unscripted, directly our message. And so it's been very, very positive, well received by the community for the most part. And I think you'll see more and more initiatives like that, because we've found, George, that traditional media, and I know you all are constantly having to change as well, is not the only way a law enforcement agency will have to be to get its message out. And so today, when you got all these different methods, like again I said, YouTube again, Facebook, MySpace, trying to think of another one that's out there, or Twitter, and you name it, it's there, and you can begin to put information there for general citizens to get them, to get things to you. And plus, people can send you information. So I almost feel like it's connecting dots to the community. Obviously, with that part of the community that has computers, but there's a large number of people that have computers, and mobile at that. Time it was, George, I would tell you it was, but I would tell you ever since January of last year, when the city instituted our new pay plan, city council approved the pay plan, upped our officers' salaries significantly. Then, of course, our economy worsened. When you take all those things into consideration, we began to see more applicants and more quality applicants. And for the first time, I've been in Rocky Mountain now a little over 25 years here in the city, 30 years in law enforcement. At no time since I've been in this department, under no chief of police, I tell people I'm no chief, under Joe Brown always, Did we ever stop taking applications? Well, we came to a point where we had to stop taking applications because we had more than we could process, and we had filled up all our positions. Our agencies had expanded. When I took over some 5 years ago, we had at the time 141 sworn, but actually about 130 on the payroll. Today we have 165, okay? So we've grown and we have those positions full, and we're paying them a higher salary. We're pretty competitive now with the region. We can pay officers, if they come here with experience, we can pay them beyond the beginning pay. I have to get it approved, obviously. I go through the city manager, and he gives me pretty much a parameter to work within. So if a person brings certain skill sets to us, get education, certain things that we think is worth a higher percentage of pay, then they offer that. And it's, but you find, George, that the men and women that get into law enforcement, most of them want to do this job. So it's not about money for most people, but you still got to have a livable wage. Mm-hmm. And today I'm proud to say that we do have a livable wage. It's a very good wage. It's competitive, and considering the things you're seeing over the globe today, it's more than competitive because, you know, company after company are closing down. Mm-hmm. Is to some extent. You have to, again, never forget the purpose you came for. Keep that in mind. You know, you can't solve the world problems. Take things one day at a time, as Reverend Walker loved to say. Take it one day at a time. Do those things that's in your control. Let criticism that you know is not true about you roll off your back like water on a duck's back.
Yeah, how you do that?
You just can't take it in. You really can't. You're going to have to let people down on that. They're not up on it. When you're not up on something, they're down on it. But as people know more and inform more, then they can speak more intelligent to somebody. Most of the time when you listen to that kind of stuff, you can't let that bother you. You got to let it roll off and keep on moving on. Otherwise, I say you would be paralyzed in essence, and could never have a good, what I call, outlook on life. Stay optimistic and move forward. And don't take it personal. You know, it don't mean you like it, but you can't take it personal. You really can't. By far. You just do what you do. I know what I told one just the other day, George. I got in this profession. I knew what I wanted to do when I was 5 years old. Okay, and I stayed on that track, and fortunately it worked out. I started up there in the town of Enfield. I've been working. Didn't have no idea I would end up in the function I'm in today, because that wasn't part of my plan. But I wanted to be a policeman a long time ago, and this is what I want to do, and been enjoying it. Mm-hmm. Some days it gets rough, but then I think about. I remember when I was in that farm,